Welcome to Tibet This Week, where we bring you a weekly news edition on His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Tibet, and the Central Tibetan Administration. These are the headlines. His Holiness the Dalai Lama blesses Zanskar. Chinese authorities raise hundreds of Buddhist Stupas and Padmasambhava statue in Karze, Tibet. Sikyong encourages Tibetan youth abroad to embrace identity. Kalon Changra Tharlam Dolma inaugurates the 8th CTA-Level educational exhibition. Kalon Gyari strengthens Tibet advocacy in Delhi. A tribute ceremony held in Hesse, Germany for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. A joint seminar brings Chinese and Tibetans together in Frankfurt. On Thursday this week, His Holiness the Dalai Lama attended a long life prayer offered by the people of Zanskar at the Tuzim Potang, organized by the Zanskar Buddhist Association, the Zanskar Gompa Association, and the organizers of the Great Summer Debate. On their request, His Holiness also gave a short teaching on Tsongkhapa's 3 principal paths today. Before the long life prayer begins, His Holiness laid the foundation stone of Zanskar Melam Stupa and recited words of blessings for the success of the project. At the gathering, His Holiness said that the people of Zanskar and him share a strong connection and that the people from Trans-Himalayan region places unwavering faith in him. His Holiness once again reassured that there have been prophecies and indications in his dream that he will live for 130 years. Earlier this week, His Holiness also inaugurated the Kargun Mega Summer Symposium. Chair of the organizing committee of the symposium, Gyari, in his opening remarks paid his respect and sincere gratitude to His Holiness the Dalai Lama for gracing the occasion and highlighted that the monasteries, nunneries and the monks of Zanskar and Ladakh have committed to studying the classic text of Buddhism as per His Holiness's advice, this summer mega symposium being a part of that project. Gyari also noted how this symposium creates space for people from different faiths to hold meaningful discussions with one another. His Holiness, in his address to the gathering, focused on how Buddhism is based on logic and reasoning. His Holiness spoke about the dialectical debate as an approach to use one's intelligence and how through that the Tibetans in exile have been able to preserve our traditions despite small population size. In a grave assault on Tibetan religious heritage, Chinese authorities have razed over 300 Buddhist stupas, a revered guru statue, and a newly constructed statue of Khenpo Jigme Phuntsho, the late founder abbot of Setar Buddhist Institute in Tako County of Karze, Tibet, around late May or June 2025, according to sources from Tibet. Adding to the assault, Chinese authorities claimed the stupas were built on government land, imposed further information blackout on this cultural vandalism, and anybody attempting to send information out faces immediate detention on charges of leaking state secrets. The entire demolition site has been sealed off with no entry or exit permit. The crackdown has extended beyond Tako County, every movement of the Tibetans surveilled and followed, and when the entire world rejoiced in a global celebration of His Holiness the Great 14th Dalai Lama's 90th birthday, all public gatherings were banned until Wednesday of this week in Karze and regions close by. On Monday this week, Sikyong Pembasring of the Central Tibetan Administration interacted with approximately 60 young Tibetans from Belgium and the United States. During the session, Sikyong encouraged them to study Tibetan history to strengthen their capacity for informed engagements on Sino-Tibet conflict, emphasized on middle way approach as the peaceful resolution, His Holiness the Dalai Lama's unwavering commitment on the Tibetan cause, and the duty of the Tibetans residing in exile now to carry forward the cause. Kalon Changra Tharlam Dolma of the Department of Education, Central Tibetan Administration, inaugurated the annual 8th CTA-Level Science, Math and Environment exhibition at TCV School, Upper Dharamsala last Thursday. The exhibition was organized by the Department of Education CTA with the theme Science and Technology for a Sustainable Environment, keeping in mind His Holiness the Dalai Lama's 4 principal commitments. Around 39 exhibits from 19 different Tibetan schools participated in the exhibition, with 12 exhibits chosen to represent Tibetan schools at the next NCERT level exhibition. Kalon Changra Tharlam Dolma, in her address, underscored the importance of diversified professions in the Tibetan community and advised the students to explore, excel and dream big. Alongside the main exhibition, students from class 4 to 8 participated in a parallel showcase titled The Natural Science Through Art exhibition, where 43 projects were presented through art-based format such as painting, modeling, songs and crafts. Last week, Gyari of the Department of Security, Central Tibetan Administration, attended the first official meeting between the national executives of the RSS and core group of the National Council, Bharat Tibat Sayog Manch, convened at the central office of the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, Delhi. While in New Delhi, Kalon also met with Alexandra Caligaro from the German embassy in New Delhi, who expressed continued support for Tibetan religious freedom. A tribute ceremony was held in Hesse, Germany to honor the 90th birthday of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, bringing together dignitaries, friends and longtime supporters of Tibet. The celebration centered around the launch of a new book by journalist Stefan Schroeder, highlighting the unique and decade-long friendship between His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the German state of Hesse. The book pays special tribute to Roland Koh, former Minister-President of Hesse, who welcomed His Holiness the Dalai Lama to the region nearly 50 times and supported the Tibetan cause with great dedication. Representative Tile Chuki commented on the book as a reminder to remember the Tibetan struggle for dignity and cultural survival. Last weekend, the Office of Tibet in Geneva organized a two-day symposium titled Together for Freedom, a Joint Action Seminar in Europe, in Frankfurt, Germany. Along with Representative Tile Chuki, this seminar, coordinated by the Chinese liaison officer Sangye Kep, was attended by members of different Chinese organizations from various countries, including Uyghurs, Hong Kongers, and Southern Mongolians. Central Tibetan Administration's Chinese liaison officer for Australia, Dao Sangma, also participated in the seminar. The participants adopted unanimous resolutions opposing the Chinese government's interference in the reincarnation of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, their persecution of human rights and other activists in China, their destruction of traditional culture and languages, and establishment of a joint committee for collaborating with the European Union. That is all for this week's edition of Tibet This Week. See you in the next one.